This is a very complicated world. It's a very noisy world. And we're not going to get a chance to get people to remember much about us. No company is. And so we have to be really clear on what we want them to know about us.
What do brands like Toys R Us, Blockbuster, and Borders have in common? See, all of them were billion-dollar brands, but now they're all bankrupt. Meanwhile, similar brands like Coca-Cola, Apple, and McDonald's are still here. They have millions of customers and are household names at this point. So, what's the difference? See, when you think about brands like Blockbuster or Toys R Us, you have to actually try to remember them. But Coca-Cola? It feels like you've known that brand your entire life. Same thing with McDonald's. And that's not a coincidence, because the biggest brands in the market follow this one psychological pattern that makes them feel timeless. That's why it feels like you've known them forever. In 1968, this psychologist named Robert Zajonc ran a crazy experiment in which he exposed how our brain makes decisions. First, he took a group of people and showed them a bunch of weird shapes that they had never seen before. But he didn't show all shapes equally. He made some shapes appeared once, some appeared 5 times, and some even appeared 25 times. In the end, he asked everyone, "Which shapes do you like the most?" And the result? He found that the shapes that appeared the most were everyone's favorites. Many people even admitted that they initially disliked that shape. Their brain liked what it saw more often. And guess what? Brands figured this out decades ago. That's why Coca-Cola puts their logo everywhere. That's why McDonald's arches are on every highway. They're not reminding you they exist. They're making sure that your brain pre-liked them before you even think about them. Because predictability makes your brain feel safe. Safety builds trust, and trust is what builds loyalty. And all the timeless brands weaponize these feelings, but not in the way you think. Because it's not just about putting posters everywhere.
People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The goal is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe.
You might think that all of these timeless brands stay the same for their entire life, but in reality, they don't. They just make you think they did. Take Coca-Cola, for example. They changed their formula over 6 times, changed bottle design multiple times, changed marketing strategy every 4 to 5 years. But they never changed their red brand color, script logo, and their happiness message. Same thing for Apple. They killed their beloved products and features like iPod, headphone jack, and CD drive. They went from computers to music players to phones to watches to now whatever this is. Heck, they even changed their CEO multiple times. But what they never changed was their minimalist design, white aesthetic, and the think different emotion. Notice something common? They change everything except what made them memorable. This pattern is called strategic constancy. And here's how it works. First, find 3 big things that you know build recognition for your brand and lock them in place. And after that, free up everything else for innovation. You see, big brands don't resist change, they just know what to protect. Even brand new companies are using this exact same pattern right now. Take Liquid Death, for example. You've probably seen it. The water brand with the skull logo. They launched in 2019, but today they're valued over $1.4 billion. And their product? It's just water in a can. So how did they become so recognizable in just 5 years? It's because they locked in these 3 things from day one. First was their skull logo. Second, it was their death metal aesthetic. And third was their murder your thirst messaging. Everything else was changed constantly. They started with water, but then added iced tea and then the flavored options. Heck, they even changed their packaging designs, kept for their limited editions and collabs.
Come on, don't f the planet.
But that skull, their metal vibe, and the rebellious messaging stayed the exact same. They became timeless while staying relevant.
And we think about our marketing team more like Saturday Night Live than we do a typical marketing thing.
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
So why did brands like Toys R Us, Blockbuster, and Borders die? Because they broke their memory anchors. Toys R Us redesigned their logo,
I was kind of disappointed by Toys R Us.
changed how their store looked,
Oh, this kind of feels like I'm just at Walmart.
and started chasing trends. Those were the main three things that your brain recognized them by. And when your brain couldn't find the familiar pattern anymore, it stopped trusting them. Blockbuster did the same thing, and so did Borders. They changed what made them recognizable, and their customers forgot who they were. Now, becoming timeless is only half the equation, because here's the thing. Most brands still keep charging cheap prices, and that's why they don't survive. Meanwhile, companies like La Mer are selling creams for $4,000 by using this little-known psychological trick. If you want to know how they do it, click here to watch that video.